For those of you planning to navigate through locks this season, here are some useful lock tips to keep in mind. Where there is a considerable difference in water levels between adjacent sections of a river or canal, locks are used to move boats from one level to another. A conventional lock is a watertight chamber with a watertight gate at each end. If the valves in the lower gate are open and those in the upper gate remain closed, the water runs out. Boats inside the lock are thereby lowered. When the valves in the lower gate are closed and those in the upper one are open, the lock fills with water and boats are raised. There is a second type of lock in which boats enter a water chamber that can be sealed and then raised to carry the boat to a higher or lower level. Although a lift lock is mechanically different from a normal lock, the procedures to be undertaken by boaters are the same. Whether you'll be navigating through canals on a powerboat or a sailboat, be sure to consult their specific website for height restrictions to avoid collisions with bridges, floodgates, or other canal infrastructure. If you're going to be passing through locks and canals on a sailboat, you may have to unstep your mast at designated marinas where the service is provided or where a crane is available for you to use. Lockmasters and attendants are responsible for the safe passage of boats through locks. Their instructions must be obeyed. These instructions may be conveyed by voice, lights, hand signal, or VHF radio. A red light means that the lock cannot be entered. Boats wishing to pass through must wait at the designated waiting area. A flashing red light means that the lock is being operated. Boats should keep clear of the lock but get ready to enter. A green light means the boat can enter the lock slowly and with caution. In order to lock through quickly and safely, the boat operator must know what is expected and be prepared to do as instructed by the lockmaster. For this reason, a copy of the canal regulations should be carried on board. This is particularly important on busy weekends when a dozen or more boats may be locking through the same lock at the same time. Before entering the lock, fenders should be hung on both sides of the boat. Lines must be available at both sides of the stern and at the bow. Lockmasters generally give specific instructions and will usually instruct large boats to enter first. The lock must be entered slowly to avoid carrying the boat's wake into the lock. The tops of the lock walls are fitted with bollards, posts, or rings for temporarily securing the boat. In many locks, chains or cables are hung down the walls. Lines from the boat should be passed around these. The lines will slide up or down as the boat rises or falls. In some locks on the Seaway and Sault Ste. Marie, attendants pass a pair of lines to boaters. In other locks, American locks or the Seaway, small boats put a line around the floating bollard that moves up or down as the lock is filled or emptied. To avoid fire or explosions, all engines must be shut off, all flames must be extinguished, and there must be no smoking once the boat is in the lock and secured. Never tie a boat securely to a bollard, ring, cable, or chain in the lock because there is a danger of capsizing as the water level changes. The lockmaster indicates the order in which boats are to leave, and they must do so at low speed. Where there is only a short distance between locks, boats are locked through in groups and lockmasters notify one another. Nothing is gained by speeding through locks, it simply means a longer wait at the next lock. Enjoy your time on the water and stay safe.